The overall gacha system in this game is significantly better in Genshin.
What is it, Peterson?
I'm not sure. I feel a disturbance.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Trieyx here, and today we're playing a new game that just came out called Wuthering Waves. I remember when this game first got announced, and man, I can't believe it's finally out. It's been like, what, a couple years? And that's crazy. But anyway, today's video, I want to give my first impression on this game, and kind of just talk about what I like about this game and what I don't like about this game, and just like my overall thoughts on the game and stuff like that. I've only played this game for like 2 hours. It's kind of like a very first impression when it comes to this game. But something I want to talk about is the gameplay, as well as like the aesthetics or graphics, as well as like the exploration, and like the UI and menus in this game, as well as the biggest thing everybody wants to know about, the gacha. We don't know when it comes to these mobile games, the main gameplay is not the actual gameplay, but the gacha itself. That's what we all come here for the gacha. Nothing else. The gameplay and the story is second. But the first thing I want to talk about is definitely the gameplay. I just have to say the gameplay in this game, it's absolutely incredible. Personally, I enjoy the gameplay in this game way more than I do in Genshin.
Wait.
Now when it comes to Genshin, the gameplay is actually really good as well. But this time when I'm playing Genshin, I feel like the movement is kind of like stiff, I guess. It's hard to explain, but in this game, it's definitely a lot more fluid. I wouldn't say Wuthering Waves is like the greatest gameplay. Definitely no AAA hack and slash game you see on consoles, but this game is relatively close, and it's really good for a mobile game. If you guys play Kiro games or Kuro games, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce it, but if you played their previous game, Punishing Gray Raven, like the gameplay in that game, it's really good as well. The combat in that game is very fluid. I keep saying gameplay, but I'm mostly talking about the combat. I guess gameplay and combat is kind of the same thing, but you guys know what I mean. And this game is no different. The combat in this game is definitely very fluid. There's also a lot of different type of mechanics that come to the combat in this game. The combat in this game is kind of similar to Genshin Impact, but it's also very different. In this game, you got the normal attacks, the skills, as well as the bursts. But also in this game, there's times where when you switch out a character, they immediately use an attack. There's also something to add in this game from the previous game, Punishing Gray Raven. But I also think Genshin has that option as well. I'm not sure if it's on the PC version. I could have swore I read somewhere in one of the versions. I remember there's an option you can toggle where if you switch out a character, they immediately use their burst. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I could have swear I saw something like that. So if I'm right, technically speaking, Genshin also has the option as well. However, it's not using like the burst in this game. It's like some random attack. I'm not sure if it's the element of skill or just like regular normal attack. But yeah, when you switch out a character, and I guess like the gauge is full, they will do an attack when you switch into them. But yeah, what's unique about this game is something called an echo skill, or something like that. It's called echo. And what echo does is that it allows you to actually play as the enemy for like a second when using the skill. The whole echo feature is kind of very similar to like Pokemon, where once you beat an enemy, you can like capture them and you can kind of like take their skill, which is actually really cool. So I show you guys right now. So I press L1 on the controller, which I also want to talk about the controller support stuff as well. Okay, so there's something I actually forgot to mention in this video, and I kind of want to talk about it here because I don't know where else to put it in the video. Okay, first thing first, the controller support. I did not mention this at all. I totally forgot. When it comes to controller support, it's only available on PC. But I tested it out on mobile, and I'm not sure about you guys, but none of my controllers worked on mobile. I tried the PlayStation 5 controller, and that didn't work. I tried my Razer Kishi, whatever it's called, like that handheld thing for Android, and that didn't work. So I don't think there's any mobile support on Android, at least. I'm not sure about iPhones. I don't think there's any controller support on any mobile devices so far. They might be adding that in the future, I'm not exactly sure, but for now there isn't, at least for Android anyway. I don't know about iPhones. Another thing I forgot to mention, when it comes to the gameplay in this game, with the double jump, you actually do plunge attacks and glide without even needing to have a high point in order to do that. Like, you know how in Genshin, in order to do a plunge attack, you have to jump high enough, but your character can't jump high enough unless you're like on a ledge or something like that. Same with gliding, like your character can't glide unless they're on like a ledge or something. But in this game, with the double jump, or not really double jump, but like the air slide in the air, whatever, you actually jump high enough where you can do a plunge attack and glide. Like, obviously you won't be able to glide that far, but you can glide it just a little bit. And with the plunge attacks, it's great to be able to do plunge attack without needing a higher platform to do the plunge attacks, so I like that a lot. And I kind of wish that was in Genshin, especially with characters like Xian Yun being out, being like a plunge support. I kind of wish that we can do plunge attacks whenever without needing a higher platform or needing Xian Yun's elemental burst in order to jump higher. Yeah, and also having double jump would be great in general for Genshin. Not only for like movement, but also being able to do plunge attacks whenever. I kind of wish they added that in the future, but we'll see if they ever add that. I highly doubt it. If anything, it would probably add it for a specific region and lock it to that region. Kind of like the whole swimming mechanic in Fontaine. And the last thing I'm about to mention in this video is the story. When it comes to the story, I still haven't really gotten that far in the story when I'm recording this voice clip right now. But from what I've played so far, I personally enjoyed the story. I know a lot of people complain about the story being bad and whatnot. After I made this video, I realized that a lot of things I talked about and kind of liked and disliked in this video, it's kind of very similar to what the community feels when it comes to this game. Not to mention that they also did a whole bunch of bug fixes from when I recorded this video, as well as compensation. I think they're even giving out like a free 5-star selector. I could be wrong, but if it's true, they're giving out a free 5-star selector for all like the problems in this game, I guess, which is kind of cool. I like that. Like now, instead of having to poll on the whatever banner they have, like the choice banner, to get the character I want, now I can actually select them from the selector, which is great because I didn't really want to have to spend my currency on like the non-limited tides, what they're called. I think like lustrous tides or something like that. So I'm just glad that now I can like naturally save up those lustrous tides and then be able to do the choice banner whenever, instead of having to rush through it just to get the character I want. Okay, going back to the story, I personally enjoyed what I played so far. Like, a lot of people don't really like it, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna say it's like the greatest story, but like people, I can't really talk too much about it because I only played like 2 hours of the story. But just from the 2 hours, I personally enjoyed it. It's not bad. Like, I don't think it's that bad people say it is, but that's just me anyway. When it comes to stuff like story, it's very subjective. It varies from person to person. Like, just because I enjoy it doesn't mean that other people will enjoy it. Like, apparently a lot of people don't like it. They're even like trying to hire like writers and whatnot. I don't know what they're gonna do with the story, and I heard that like the story kind of changed from like the beta or whatnot, so you have to see what happens moving forward. Also, another thing is that they're hiring like a voice director now. A lot of people complain about the voice acting, which I do talk about in this video later on. When it comes to like the voice acting, some people don't even like the voice acting. Personally, for me, I guess it's kind of spoilers for later on in the video. I personally kind of like the voice acting, but I wouldn't say anything too crazy. Like, it's decent. It doesn't really bother me that much compared to other people. Definitely can be a little bit better. I'm curious to see what kind of fixes they're gonna be doing when it comes to like the voice direction in this game. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the rest of this video. Yeah, right now I'm playing on a controller. If you press L1, you guys see right there, the little like turtle, I guess. I didn't get the echo I'm equipping right now, but yeah, that turtle is actually an enemy. Yeah, I think if I press this button, yeah, it makes me play as the enemy, which is also really cool. I don't know what this does. Oh, it's healing me. Oh, that's cool. Look at it. It looks like it's like dancing and raving at a disco. Oh my god, it's so cool. So it just keeps going. Yeah, so I think there's like a little timer. It just keeps on going. So it is like one of the skills. It's not really healing that much, but I think I have to level it up in order for it to heal a lot more, but this is so cool. I like this a lot. But yeah, I'm not trying to get out of this. Oh, right here, okay. But you also can tell when your party members will do an attack when you switch them out by looking at like the party, and you guys see like a little like blinking white circle. But yeah, let me show you guys like the normal attacks, stuff like that. So yeah, you have like the plunge attacks. If you jump high enough in the air, you also have the regular normal attack. And this is your skill. And I can't really use my burst right now, but R2 right over here is burst. But it is the gameplay of this character. But so far I've gotten 3 free characters, excluding the main character in this game. All of them so far are waifus, so yes, waifu collectors are winning.
Make it easy, it's just a drawing.
But hopefully they do give out a husbando character. For those husbando collectors out there, but it is her elemental skill, or skill, not elemental skill. And then I can't really use a burst. And this is her plunge attack. But yeah, I'm still getting used to like the controls in this game. It's a little different than Genshin Impact. Some buttons are similar to Genshin, but also some buttons are not. So it definitely take time to get used to. But it is the gameplay for this character. So it is like the long range character. So yeah, I actually never tried this character out on PC anyway. So right here is kind of like the bow character in Genshin Impact. So yeah, like you can sort of aim and then fire, which is really neat. And I tried using this character on mobile, and surprisingly actually pretty good. On mobile, there's a mode you can like toggle, and then it'll just be in this mode the entire time. So once I toggle this mode in the mobile version, I'm stuck in this mode until I want to get out of it. It's not like the PC version where I just gotta press a button in order to be in that mode. Like, I can't literally stay in this mode. I think Genshin should have that option. I'm not sure if they do. I haven't really played Genshin on mobile for a very long time. And even if I played on mobile, I never really played with bold characters, so I'm not sure if they have this mode, but if they don't, then they definitely need it, because it makes aiming so much easier. And also, I'm really excited for the day when Genshin releases the actual gun character. But yeah, she also has a normal attack as well, so I can just do this if I don't want to aim. And this is an elemental skill for like sliding. That is so cool. Yeah, there's a plunging attack, but it's kind of cool. But yeah, she has like multiple attacks for her plunging, so that's interesting. I actually never tried her out before, so that was the first time seeing it. Oh, look at this. This is so cool. What is that? So I think like over time, she can build up this meter where she can just like rapid fire a bunch of like attacks. I'm not sure, does everybody have that? I think everybody does. So if you guys see right there above the HP bar, you guys see some sort of bar, and then right above it you see like a triangle. I feel like if you build that meter up, you can do like maybe a special attack with your skill, I'm not exactly sure. Because triangle is a skill, but this is this triangle right there. So I think it makes the skill a little bit better, I guess. Maybe it does like a unique animation or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said before, I only played this game for like 2 hours, so I don't really know too much about it. But maybe it's only unique to her because I feel like she's the only one I can really use this with. Right there you guys see I'm like building up the meter when I use their skill, but when it comes to other characters, it doesn't really build up the meter, so I'm not exactly sure. So it might just be a unique thing for like long range characters. Yeah, so right here, it is so cool, man. That's awesome. Man, I'm curious to see how much damage she does. Like, I feel like her shooting so much probably do a lot of damage. But it is another echo skill, so look at this, man. This is so awesome. Being able to play out the enemy, I think that's so neat. And not a skill that's exclusive to the main character. I think every character can have echo skills. They use different enemy skills on each different character. It just adds more to the gameplay and fleshes out even more. In Genshin you can combine elements, but in this game you have echo skills. See, I'm not sure what you guys think is cooler. They're both are really fun elements to the respective game that makes the combat just so much more fun to play. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of about it for the combat. But yeah, you can see right there, the combat's very fluid. I haven't played Punishing Grey Raven in the past. I knew for a fact that they're gonna nail the combat. The only thing I can complain about when it comes to the combat, and not really too much about the combat because it's not really anything combat related, but I don't like how you can only have 3 characters in a party. But yeah, one of the biggest complaints when I have when playing Genshin is the fact that we only have 4 characters in the party. I want to use more characters. I'm not saying that you should have like 10 people in a team. I feel like maybe 5 would be pretty good. Especially since in Genshin, there's so many characters in that game that I want to use that I'm like, I wish we could have more people in a party. That way I could use more characters. And I feel like this game is gonna have the problem in the future as well, where they release a whole bunch of characters that we all want to use, but we can't because we only have 3 people on a team. So I really hope that in the future they make it so we have more people on our team. But I feel like 3 is very little. I feel like they should at least allow us to have 4 characters like Genshin. I feel like it's like the minimum, but unfortunately you don't have 3. I think the same thing with Punishing Grey Raven as well. I think you only had 3 characters. So I really hope that they add more characters in the future because I feel like 3 is way too little. Like it only uses like 2 of the arrow buttons. So I feel like also with Genshin, the yellow 2 arrows are not really being used in this game. So it'd be nice to be able to slot another 2 characters in the team to be able to actually fully utilize the entire D-pad. Besides the combat, the movement in this game is very fluid. Like in Genshin, similar to the combat being a little bit stiff at times, I feel like the movement in that game is also stiff at times. Whereas in this game, it's very fluid. And I feel like the movement in this game is more fluid than the combat. And that's saying something, because the combat's pretty fluid as well. But here's the like a running animation. And what's cool about the running animation, you guys see right there, I'm not using any stamina. So once I run, I just keep on running. Like there's no stamina involved. And also there are times where it auto jumps as well. So you guys right here, I'm just auto jumping. I think that's really cool. I like that. And also I saw like a post on Reddit where you start running towards the cat, it auto jumps over the cat, which I think is kind of cool. But after running this game, not to mention that there also is a sliding animation. I'm not sure it's called sliding. If you guys play Kingdom Hearts, you guys will know that it's called like air slide. You jump in the air and you kind of like move forward, you know? So if I jump, I just move forward a little bit. You don't really travel that far, but it's still kind of cool. It's kind of like a double jump. Like right there. Like I'm jumping a little bit higher. I wish Genshin had double jump. I feel like all games should have double jump. I'm not gonna lie. It makes exploration so much more fun. And this is the gliding in this game. So yeah, instead of like Genshin having like wing gliders, I don't know what that even is. I think it's like hanging on top of something. Some kind of like bird. Not really a bird, but I don't know what that is. I like how every single type of these games have their own little like flying mechanic. This game you have what like this thing is. In Genshin you have like the wing gliders. In Tower Fantasy you have the jetpacks. And I feel like the jetpacks are definitely the coolest one, in my opinion. Not to mention that in Tower Fantasy, you can sort of like press a button and just automatically just fly up. You don't have to go like the highest point and then jump down and fly. Like, you can just like fly out, which I think is kind of cool. But yeah, the biggest thing I like about the movement in this game, actually there's 2 things actually. So one is the grappling hook. So with the grappling hook, you actually can use it whenever. Like in Genshin, you can only use the grappling when you see like a point, like right over here. In Genshin, you can grapple from here to over there, but you can only do it with this point. So this game also has the same thing where like you can like grapple onto like the point, but also when there is no point, you can also grapple up as well, which you don't really go that far, but it's still cool. You can do it whenever. So right now, if I jump and just grapple, I like fly up there, even though there's no point. It feels like on Spiderman, you know? Unfortunately, the cooldown is kind of long, but this is so cool, man. You hear like the sound too. It sounds like you're shooting webs out of your hand. Like it's awesome. And also what's really cool is that you can see like the cooldown for the skill as well. You don't have to actually go to the second menu to see the cooldown. You can see it right over there. But I think that's kind of neat. So yeah, like now I know I can actually use the grappling hook again. So yeah, this is so cool, man. All the movement in this game, I feel like I'm literally Spider-Man. And also speaking of Spider-Man, hold on, let me show you guys. You can actually run up walls in this game. Yeah, you can actually run up walls. It's really cool. So I'll show you guys right over here. Actually, I can't. I can do it right here. Stay watch, ready? I'm gonna start running, and I'm running up walls. This is so cool, man. Like, not only can you just climb on things, but you can run up walls. It makes going up so much faster. It's crazy. You are literally Spider-Man in this game. There's this game called Project Mugen or something like that, where you can like sort of use grappling hooks, kind of like feel like Spider-Man. This game, same thing as well. You have that feature where you literally just feel like Spider-Man. I'm like running up walls, and I keep going. It'll stop you when you bump into something, but look at this. You can just keep going. Man, it's so awesome. Unfortunately, the stamina bar is kind of low right now. I think you have to like level up a little bit more in order to get more stamina. But yeah, the combat in this game, as well as in Genshin, I love them both. This game has the whole echo skills. Genshin has their combining elements, stuff like that. Both are really fun to play. But the movement in this game is significantly better than Genshin. I have to say, like, it's definitely so much more fun to move around in this game than it is Genshin. But I know that's kind of better for the gameplay of this game. Yeah, now moving on to the next thing, the aesthetics. And man, this game looks gorgeous. Like, it looks really good. I will say that it definitely does not look as good as Genshin, in my opinion. Then again, it is like a personal preference type of thing. Like, the style in this game is different than the style in Genshin. Personally, I like Genshin's style a little bit more, because I think the world of Genshin just looks a little more vibrant. Then again, I am only in one part of this game, so I have not seen the other part of this game, so I can't really say too much about it. And the textures in this game, it's definitely not as good as Genshin as well. Even when Genshin first came out, I feel like it's a little bit better than this game is right now. But I feel like this game, as the time goes by, it's gonna improve a lot more. Yeah, and I feel like also Genshin has like a bigger budget as well. So it's no surprise that Genshin is, at least in my opinion, better when it comes to the overall look of the world and stuff like that. But overall, this topic is very subjective. Just because I think the aesthetics in this world not as good as Genshin doesn't mean that other people think this way. Like, some people might like the aesthetics in this game way more than Genshin. But yeah, I don't know, like, there's times in this game where it looks a little bit gloomy, but maybe that's just like the area I'm in right now. But yeah, as you guys saw in like the beginning of this video, when this game is like all sunny and whatnot, like during the daytime, it looks really good. The waterfall, the trees, stuff like that, it looks really cool. But then you look over here and they're like all gloomy and stuff. I'm like, oh man, it's so sad. But I guess it's just the areas. I also feel like Wuthering Waves, the story is probably be a little more gloomier, which is why the world a little bit more gloomier, I guess. But yeah, still, like, I love both the aesthetics in both Genshin and Wuthering Waves. I just like Genshin just a little bit more. And also, another thing, I also like how Genshin, when you go into like the areas, it's kind of based off of the like different countries and nations. Where in this game, I'm not exactly sure if it's like that. I feel like this place is obviously based off of like China, I guess. We have to see later on in other areas whether or not it's like based off of other nations or not. I'm not sure if they said that. I haven't really been keeping up too much when it comes to like the development of this game, but that's definitely one of the biggest things I love when it comes to Genshin. The fact that they incorporate real life, not areas, but like cultures and stuff like that into like their nations and regions and whatnot. Yeah, I really hope this game sort of does that as well. I hope it's not just a typical like JRPG anime game where it's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but you get to get what I mean. But I really hope they actually incorporate some other stuff as well to make the game feel more real, I guess. But yeah, like I said before, there's only one part of the map. Like, the map in this game is pretty big. It's not as big as Genshin when it first started out. That you guys see right here. Like, this is how big the map is so far. Genshin, I feel like the map was a little bit bigger, but even so, like, the map in this game is pretty big. So yeah, as I explore more areas, I'll see more of the scenery, stuff like that, and maybe I'll like it even more. And definitely gonna expand to more areas in the future, so the map definitely look a lot more bigger as well. And so far, when it comes to like me scrolling through here, like, it's big. This is like the box so far, so it's gonna be at least this big. Yeah, also I see like the resin as well. I like the stamina bar in this game. You see at like 240, similar to Honkai Star Rail where you have like 240 as well. And Genshin right now is it's 160. It used to be like 120 when it first came out, so half of what this game has. And then they increased it to 120 to 160. And then now I think they're gonna change it from 160 to 200. I think in the next patch, or maybe 5.0. I'm not really sure, but I think it's like the next patch. So I'm glad they're finally increasing that. But it kind of took until Wuthering Waves came out in order for them to actually increase the resin cap. But I know the Wuthering Waves wasn't actually the reason why they increased the cap, but it's funny to think that they announced that so close to Wuthering Waves being released, so it kind of feels like it is, but obviously it probably not. But moving away from the aesthetics of the area and like the world itself, I want to talk about like the aesthetics when it comes to like the characters and whatnot. But when it comes to like the characters, I really like the designs a lot. Like, a lot of the designs are very sharp, but personally I prefer Genshin's character aesthetics more than I do Wuthering Waves. And the reason being is, like I said before, when it comes to Genshin, they kind of base the designs on like real life cultures, you know? And I really like that a lot, which is why I prefer it over Wuthering Waves. But right now, Wuthering Waves just came out. There's only like a handful of characters, and I really don't know what they plan on doing with future areas and like future characters when it comes to like, the designs and whatnot, so I can't really say too much about that. But just so far, and also basing it off of just Genshin at the 1.0 state of the game, I prefer Genshin a little bit more. And also, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel like the design in this game, not the design, but like, I don't know how to explain it, maybe like the faces or something, I'm not exactly sure, but it sort of feels the same. Like, all the characters kind of feel the same to me, whereas Genshin, it feels a little bit different. I feel like each character had like their own unique design, I guess, where this game, it kind of just blends in together, in my opinion. I don't know, this is just my opinion. But as before, the whole aesthetics thing, and like designs and graphics and whatnot, is definitely personal preference. Everybody has their own taste. This is how I feel. Your guys' opinion matters more to you than my opinions. But yeah, like looking at the daytime of this world, it definitely looks significantly better than what it is at nighttime. But yeah, like when you look at the world, it definitely doesn't seem as vibrant as Genshin's for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's like the shaders. Maybe like the shaders aren't as good at Genshin. But like before, that could be fixed in the future. I guarantee you, Wuthering Waves in 2.0 and like 3.0 and 4.0, it's gonna look significantly better than this for sure. Especially since when they make more money in this game, the more money they make, the more they're gonna put into this game, and the bigger the budgets are. So that's kind of everything when it comes to just like the aesthetics and the graphics on both the areas and the characters. Actually, one more thing, I kind of want to talk about the cutscenes in this game, or like the cinematic cutscenes. They look really good. That I actually like as much as Genshin. Like the cinematic cutscene in this game and Genshin cinematic cutscenes, they're both top tier, and I can't wait to see more of it in the future. I only saw like maybe a few in this game, maybe like 3. I'm pretty sure the cutscenes will be a lot better later on in the stories. As for the music in this game, Genshin's soundtrack is really good. This game's soundtrack, albeit I only heard a little bit of it because I only been to like one area, and I only played this game for like 2 hours. But from what I heard so far, it's really good. Not to mention that Punishing Grey Ravens soundtrack are incredible too. These games, like the soundtrack, are knocking it out of the park. You would think mobile game soundtracks would be like really bad, but a lot of mobile game soundtracks are better than some AAA games, which is crazy. In terms of like the voice acting in this game, I heard a lot of people complain about the voice acting not really being that great. Personally, I think the voice acting is okay as well. It's not the greatest, but it's not horrible. It's pretty good. It's better than some other games and mobile games out there. It definitely feel like it could use a little bit of polishing. Not sure if it's like the sound quality, like when they put into the game, or like the mics they're using or whatever. Maybe it's like the voice direction. Maybe that's why it's not really that great. I don't know. It also doesn't help that I only played this game for like 2 hours. I haven't really heard too much of the voice acting in this game, but from what I heard so far, it's okay. Genshin's voice acting in 1.0 is definitely a lot better than this game. Eventually, it's gonna get better. But another thing we'll talk about is like the UI and the menus in this game. So yeah, the UI and the menu in this game looks pretty good. Personally, I don't really like it as much as Genshin. Looking at the UI and the menu in this game, it kind of screams mobile game to me. I don't know why. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of just does. But when it comes to Genshin, it doesn't really scream mobile game as much. Obviously, it's still a mobile game. It has some mobile game aspects, but it just looks a little bit better than this game. But it's not really too big of a deal. Like, it's just the menu and the UI, whatever. It's gonna get better in the future. But look, so far, it's not bad. It's just that it feels a little mobile gamey. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't really ruin the experience, in my opinion. I know Tower of Fantasy, kind of same thing. You play Tower of Fantasy, the UI in that game definitely feels like a mobile game for sure. So not like Wuthering Waves is like the only one that being affected by this. A lot of mobile games, they ported on PC and PlayStation, whatever, sort of suffer from that same thing as well. Alright, with all that being said, I think I kind of went over everything I want to talk about. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely leave it in the comment section below. But let's talk about the main thing that we're all here for. And the main thing that we all really care about when it comes to mobile games, and that is the gacha system. So let's get into it. So let's go into like the gacha thingy and let me show you guys the rules and whatnot, and like the rates and stuff like that. So the gacha's right over here. It's called Convene. You guys see all the banners that are out right now. I guess Convene is like the word for summoning in this game. Like in Genshin, it's called Wish. You guys see on the top, that is like your pull currencies. You got like the little star-shaped things. So it's called Astrite, and then you can exchange it for Lustrous Tide. That's what it's called. The Lustrous Tide over here is the standard banner currency, and for the limited banners, it's called Radiant Tide. So I definitely don't get confused on this, converting your currencies to convert it to Radiant Tide. Assuming you want to pull on the limited banner. If you guys want to pull on like the standard banner, it'll be the other one, Lustrous, a Luminous Tide or whatever. I don't know what it's called. But over here, this is the beginner banner. If you pull 50 times, you will get a 5-star character at random. It's discounted at 20% off, so it costs 8. Usually it costs 10, but this banner costs 8. And right over here is the limited banner. It's here for 20 days, same thing as Genshin, and it costs 10 of the Radiant Tide in order to pull, so same thing as Genshin. And this is the weapon banner. Yes, this game has the weapon banner, unfortunately, but at least the weapon banner in this game is significantly better than Genshin. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's significantly better than Genshin. I really hope Genshin adopts the system in the future, because it's so much better. So much better. And right here is the standard banner. Nothing crazy. and this is like the standard weapon banner. Like you can pick whatever weapon you guys want. This is kind of neat. Like you can go for like the sword. I think it's like probably like the broadsword or like the claymore, the guns, gauntlets, fist weapons, whatever it's called. I have no idea what this is. I think it's like the catalyst in this game. So yeah, this banner right here, I wish Genshin had this as well. A standard banner for weapons. Right now Genshin, they combine the character standard banners with the weapon standard banners. In this game is separate. So I can be like, you know what, I kind of want to pull for a 5-star weapon, and I'll just pull on this banner. Genshin, I have a hope and pray I get a 5-star weapon in the standard banner. Actually, I think Genshin, I heard this somewhere, I'm not exactly sure if it's true or not, but in Genshin, when pulling the standard banner, it kind of alternates between what you get. You're supposed to get a 5-star character, and you're supposed to get a 5-star weapon, and then you get a 5-star character and a weapon. I don't know if that's true or not. Personally for me, in my case, I don't think that ever happened to me before. I feel like whenever I pull, it's like random. I got like 2 characters before, I got like 2 weapons before, something like that, so I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it is, I have no idea. But yeah, it's just like Genshin, when it comes to the weapon banner, the weapon in the banner is usually tied to the event characters. But also, like when I was glazing the weapon banner in this game, like before, the overall gacha system in this game is significantly better in Genshin.
What is it, Peterson?
I'm not sure. I feel a disturbance.
And I'll tell you guys why. So yeah, first thing first, let's get into the rates in this game. That's already here. This is the limited banner. Same thing Genshin, you guarantee 1 4-star character every 10 times, whatever. And over here, if you don't pull like the character in this banner, the guarantee is carry over to the next banner. And every resets when you pull a 5-star character. Same thing as Genshin. Like nothing crazy about that. Alright, so over here, the base 5-star rate is 0.8. Genshin is like a little bit lower. It's like 0.6. In this game, it's 0.8. Well, I mean, okay, so the extra 0.2% does make a difference, but it doesn't make that much of a difference, in my opinion. So that's really what I'm talking about when it comes to the gacha in this game being a lot better than Genshin. But yeah, the average drop rate for a 5-star character is 1.8%. Alright, so I'm looking at the wiki right now. The average rate in Genshin is 1.6. So 0.2% higher than Genshin, and you're guaranteed to get a 5-star character every 80 pulls. Similar to Genshin Impact, I know Genshin, the pity is 90, but most of us are never gonna get to 90. Most of us are gonna pull the 5-star character around 80 pulls, maybe just a little bit more than 80. Yeah, it's basically the same thing overall. Unfortunately in this game, some of the Genshin Impact, there's a 50-50.
Why does this keep happening to me?
So if you don't get the character in your first 80 pulls, the next 80 pulls you're guaranteed to get them. I really don't like the 50-50 system in either games, but it is what it is. I feel like it'll be the norm starting now. All mobile games and gacha games gonna have that 50-50. So yeah, it sucks. But yeah, when it comes to the 4-star character or weapon drop rate, it is 6%. So in Genshin, it is 5.1%. So this game, a 0.9% higher drop rate, or at least like the base drop rate anyway. And as for the average drop rate in this game, it's 12%, but in the Genshin, it is 13%. So in Genshin, the average drop rate is just a little bit better, 1% better. I'm reading it from the wiki. Yeah, I'm not sure if the wiki is 100% correct, but I'm assuming it is. I've used the wiki before and it seems really reliable. So if I'm wrong, then the wiki's wrong. But don't blame me, I'm just the middleman, you know? You guarantee a 4-star character a weapon every 10 pulls. We already know that. Every 4-star item has a 50% chance of being the featured 4-star characters on this banner. But if you pull a 4-star in this banner and it's an unfeatured character in this banner, or just like some random 4-star weapon, the next 4-star you pull will be guaranteed to be one of the guaranteed characters in this banner. The base 3-star weapon drop rate is 93.2% in this game, whereas Genshin it is 94.3%. So Genshin 3-star rate is a little higher, or this game is a little bit lower. The lower 3-star rate, the better it is. Unlike the 4-star rate and 5-star rate, and this game takes the cake. It's only 1%, so it doesn't really mean too much, but hey, it's still something, right? Alright, so right down here, the extra rewards. This is what happens you pull a dupe. It's the same thing as Genshin Impact. You'll get a wave band, which is basically like the constellations in Genshin. If you get a dupe 5-star character, and 15 of the Afterglow corals. But this is like the same thing as the star glitters, where you can use them to exchange for like random stuff. And I think the same thing with Genshin. I think you get like the constellations and you get the star glitters. And the 8th time onwards, once you max them out, you get 40. I don't remember what it is for Genshin, so I don't remember too much about the conversion rates when it comes to this and like the pull currencies, but I think it's probably like not that much better than Genshin. So I have to check the conversion rates in order to see if it's actually better than Genshin or not. So when it comes to the 4-star characters, and you pull a dupe of them, you get 1 of the constellation and 3 of the Afterglow corals. 8th time onward, you get 8 Afterglow corals. And then when you pull a 4-star weapon, you always get 3 of the corals. And when you pull a 3-star weapon, you get 15 of the oscillated corals. So there's 2 different types of corals. So it's kind of the same thing as Genshin Impact. 4-star and higher characters and weapons will get you the star glitters and then everything else gives you the other currency or whatever it's called. If you pull a 5-star character, not the feature 5-star character, you get an extra 30 Afterglow corals, so you get 45 instead. So it's 15 on top of the 30. That's pretty good right there. Alright, so I just noticed, looking at my recording, you guys cannot see the actual rules in the banner. I don't understand why I do this. It basically looks like it's frozen, but it's not. So I'm probably gonna have to put a screenshot in the video showing you guys the actual rules, because apparently in the game it doesn't show up. So I think it's kind of stupid, but it is what it is. But yeah, here is the biggest thing that makes the gacha system in this game significantly better than Genshin. It says right over here, you may redeem up to 2 limited stock of the wave bands or constellations for each 5-star character with after corals. And this 2 limited stock is for the featured character. And you also can get the 5-star characters, constellations, or wave bands, what do you guys want to call them, as well, like the non-limited ones. So let me show you guys right over here. I'm gonna use my mouse because it's a lot easier. I use my controller and my mouse at the same time. Genshin needs this. I've been suffering from not being able to use my mouse when playing controller for so long. Whenever I play Genshin, I always watch a stream on the side. And yeah, if you guys play Genshin, if you use a controller, you can't use your mouse. So I can't go to my other monitor and click off the stream or whatever, or like search something up on the internet. I have to go through hoops and hurdles in order to be able to do that. So Genshin needs to have this feature because it's really annoying. But over here is a shop. Oh yeah, it shows up. Okay, so right over here is the Aftershock Coral. It costs 8 of the corals in order to exchange for like a limited banner currency. This is for like a limited weapon banner currency. This is the standard banner currency. And this right over here is the constellation for the limited character. Now, I'm not sure how much it costs, but the biggest thing is the fact that these corals, they don't expire. Meaning, if you save up these corals, you can max out a character for free. If you pull enough times, if you play this game enough times, save up your corals, eventually you can max out a character for free. Like, that is crazy. I mean, obviously, if you guys spend money in this game, it's not free, but for free-to-play players, you can do that. Now, obviously, you have to pull a character first, because it said not obtained, so you can't really get it. So I don't really know how much it costs. It costs 55 for like the 4-star characters, and these characters are going to be changing every month, I guess, similar to Genshin, or like I guess every patch. In Genshin, it's every month, and this game's every patch. So these 4-star characters are going to be rotating. I'm not sure what the rotation is, but this is not anything like Genshin. So basically, it's the equivalent of being able to C6 your 5-star character just by polling in this game over time. Yeah, it didn't say it expires either. In Genshin, when it comes to the star glitters, you always want to spend it on the poll currency. In this game, you don't want to spend it on the poll currency. You want to be spending it on these things. Now, these things could cost 1,000 for all I know. But yeah, you guys saw from like the rules before, you get a decent amount of them. So eventually, you can max out a character, and that is wild. So that makes it significantly better than Genshin. In my eyes, I will never probably be able to C6 a character in Genshin Impact, but in this game, in like, you know, a year or 2, I might have 3 fully maxed out characters, assuming that it doesn't cost that much. I'm not really sure how much it costs like before. Assuming that it costs a reasonable amount, I can, you know, max out a couple characters. Genshin needs this. But will they ever do this? Probably not. I don't see them doing it. They make so much money off the constellation that there's really no point of doing it. For them anyway, it'd be stupid, because that's a lot of money that they're gonna be losing for doing that, but it'd be nice. It'd be kind of cool if they did a universal constellation one day, you know? Like from a event, or maybe from these shops, whatever. You can buy one universal constellation every, I don't know, year, I guess. Better than nothing, I guess, so that'd be nice. And you use that universal constellation for any character, that'd be cool. This is the secondary coral thing. Basically the secondary thing from Genshin Impact, like the non-limited shop. This is what you want to buy, like the premium currency and whatnot. Yeah, also kind of cool. You can buy the limited currency for the weapon banner. It's also really cool how the limited currency is separated between characters and weapons. Genshin needs this. Kind of want to pull for a weapon, but I can't because the currency is the same as pulling for a character, and I'd rather pull for a character than a weapon. But in this game, I don't have to worry about that. There's 2 different currencies. I can save them up and be able to pull for weapons and characters. Or at the very least, they're never going to do this, but make the weapon banner being pullable with the standard banner currency. They're never going to do that, unfortunately. This is what Genshin needs the most. Yeah, other than that, this is the exchange for your basically primo gems, asterite in this game. But when it comes to like paying for the currency, the pole in this game, it's basically the same thing as Genshin Impact. They literally took this out of Genshin Impact. It's all the same. I'm not sure about the bundles though, but they also have like the Welkins. They have the level bundles. Yeah, these are free. You get like some free stuff for just leveling up. Kind of same thing as Genshin. Like you get free stuff by leveling up your adventure rank, whatnot. So I think it's the same thing, except that they just moved it to the shop in this game. Right here is the Welkin. Same thing as before. $5. Everything the same as well. You get the same amount. Even like the banner, the border, whatever. exactly the same as the Welkin. Right here, like the point shop. I think it's like I'm doing like maybe the Abyss in this game. Maybe there's simulation training. I'm not sure what this is. I'm assuming it's like the Abyss in this game. Or like Herda store. You guys play Honkai Star Rail. You guys like do the weekly thing. You get some currency. You can like buy stuff in the shop. You can buy like some Echo stuff here. I'm not sure like this actual Echo skill. These Echo monsters, they look really cool. This literally looks like Zombie Winston from Overwatch. So I'm assuming these skills are probably really good. This is like the Thundering Memphis. It looks really terrifying. And then it's like the Morning Aches or something like that. It looks really good. It looks like Angel, so probably like a healer. You get like some skills here as well. So it costs a lot though. It probably take a while for you to actually be able to get these things. It's really cool at the shop. Like probably like the end game content in this game. I'm assuming anyway. Can you imagine there being a shop for Spiral Abyss? It wouldn't be cool if you can get like the event weapons that you missed out on in like a Spiral Abyss shop. Just by doing the Spiral Abyss, you can like eventually get the event weapons that you missed out on. Like the Festering Desire, like that's such a coveted weapon that nobody can get anymore. This is like an event in 1.1, so yeah, it'd be kind of nice if they added that into like a Spiral Abyss shop. That way you can get all the event weapons that you missed out on. Fortunately for me, I have Festering Desires. Yeah, I'm really suffering from that.
Nobody cares.
But a lot of people are. It really stinks, you know. But yeah, last thing we'll talk about is the 5-star weapon banner. There's not really too much to talk about this banner because everything's kind of the same as the limited banner. But the only thing I want to highlight in this weapon banner is right away here, and I'll probably put it in the screen in the video somewhere because you guys can't see it. Every time you pull a 5-star weapon in this banner, it is guaranteed to be the feature weapon in this banner. That's crazy. In Genshin Impact, you have to save up 270 of the limited currency, whatever it's called, in order to guarantee you'll get the 5-star weapon. In this game, in 80 pulls, you are guaranteed to get the feature 5-star weapon. Genshin is trying to make the weapon banner a little bit better by adding some sort of other banner where it kind of has like limited 5-star characters and limited 5-star weapons, and you can kind of select which one you want, and it only costs like 180 pulls to guarantee the 5-star character weapon. For the characters, it doesn't make too much of a difference because the pity rate is still the same, but at least it makes it so you can get the limited characters faster, and that way you don't wait so long for them to come back. When it comes to like the 5-star weapons, not only does it make it so they come back a lot faster, but also you'd have to do one less rotation in order to guarantee you the weapon. Say in Genshin, in the first rotation, it's a 75% chance you pull one of the 2 limited 5-star weapons, and a 25% chance for you to pull some random non-limited 5-star weapon. Essentially like a 37.5% chance you get the actual weapon you want. But when it comes to the second rotation, it's a 50-50 between the 2 limited weapons, and at the last rotation, you're guaranteed to get the actual weapon itself. The fact that you have to save up 270 of the limited currency in order to guarantee that you actually pull the weapon you want in the weapon banner, compared to in this game where you're guaranteed to pull the weapon you want in 80 pulls, it's no brainer. Like this is like significantly better, and I really hope that Genshin sees this and fixes the weapon banner and make it better. At least get rid of the first rotation. Like that's pointless. Like the fact that you can pull a non-limited weapon in your pity is stupid. And not only that, but 270 pulls to guarantee you the weapon you want, that's 3 5-star characters that you're losing. That's horrible. At the very least, get rid of the first rotation in the weapon banner and make 2 separate currencies for the weapon banner and the 5-star character banner. That will make it so much better, and I really hope they do change that in the future. But for now they haven't, and to be honest with you, I don't think they will, because they make so much more money off of the banners this way that it'd kind of be stupid for them to do that. But as a Genshin player, I really hope they do fix it. Like, there's a reason why people call the weapon banner a scam, because it is. Like, it's absolutely horrible. But that's kind of about it. Everything else is kind of the same when it comes to weapon banners, when it comes to like the corals or whatnot. Maybe it's a little bit different, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's not too crazy. As for other banners, I think it's probably the same thing as well. Rates are all the same and whatnot. Same with like the standard weapon banner. But yeah, also like this before, I really like how you select the weapon you want in the standard weapon banners. This should also be a thing as well. Genshin, please do this. If Genshin ever splits the character banner and the weapon banner, I really hope that if they do that, they allows, at least for the standard banner anyway, to select the weapon that we want to pull for. I still don't have a Wolf Greystone to this day. There's a lot of weapons in the standard banner that we all want or had never gotten yet, because it's so diluted with other random 5-star weapons and other like non-limited 5-star characters. Not only that, but the weapons in this banner looks really cool. I love how they're all glowing or not. It's basically the equivalent of the Skyward weapons in Genshin. I wonder if the weapons change. If you start leveling them up and awakening weapons, I'm curious if they're gonna change in like color or whatnot. Like in Genshin, it does that where the weapons get a little more cooler, I guess. They get a little more shine to them when you upgrade them. I wonder if this game can have the same thing. But anyways, let me show you guys the summoning animation in this game, and also, just gonna do some polls in general. So I had enough to do 2 multis. Eventually, probably give out enough in order for us to finish this and get a 5-star character. And also really cool about this is that after you finish this novice convene, there's a beginner choice convene where you can select a 5-star character you want and pull them if you didn't get them. So right now I want John Xing or something like that, the girl in the middle. She fights with a fist, so I really want her. And if I don't pull her here, the banner after this, I can select her and then do some more pulls there and guarantee to get her. You don't really need to reroll in this game. Honestly, I don't think you guys should reroll anyway, because rerolling in these type of games is just a pain pain in the butt. It took me 2 hours in order to get to this part where I can actually summon. So if you reroll, it's probably gonna take you at least 45 minutes to get to this part. And I'm sure you guys want to spend 45 minutes just to reroll and not get anything. So yeah, it's not really worth it. Even Genshin Impact, not really worth it. So that's up to you guys. If you guys think it's worth it, then go for it. But personally for me, I'm not gonna do that. I don't got time to spend 45 minutes for each reroll. That's crazy, man. They do it on purpose too. That way you don't want people to reroll. And let's get into it. I'm not sure if we get more than one 5-star character. Probably not. But at the very least, I want to post some more 4-star characters. Let's get into it. So let's go. Let's do one multi. So here's the summon animation. So it went purple, and I think it's probably turn gold if you pull a 5-star character. Somewhat similar to Genshin, but kind of like Genshin a little bit more. In Genshin, the light comes down from the sky, where in this game, it comes from like the ocean and waves up into the sky. So it's kind of very similar to each other, I guess. It also makes sense too, but this game is called Wuthering Waves, so it'd probably be about like the oceans and whatnot, or like waves or something like that. Bunch of swords, man. A bunch of swords and guns. Oh, we got a catalyst, a gauntlet. Alright, so let's do one more pull. You got a 5-star character? No. Or maybe it turns rainbow, who knows? Alright, so we got weapons. I think the next one to the guarantee. Actually, no. It's not the limited banner, so it doesn't guarantee you a 4-star character. Or a certain 4-star character. Oh my god, another one of these things. I'm getting these gauntlets. It means that I'm gonna get the character middle for sure. Because she fights with a fist, and I think she's a gauntlet as well.
You poor, ugly thing, you.
Say please, with Wuthering Waves coming out, Genshin, please up your game. We know you can be better, so please be better. That's one of the things I really like about these type of games being similar to Genshin Impact coming out. There's more competition, which require Genshin to up their game in order to be better. Or at least more so forcing them to be better, I guess. So people shouldn't really be knocking these games, copying Genshin coming out, because we need more games like this in order to have more competition, in order for Genshin or like MiHoYo to up their game and overall just make the game a lot better than it is right now, because we all know that Genshin could be a lot better than it is right now, and having more competition will force them to do that. So I'm all for more games like Genshin coming out. And also while we're at it, can we stop saying how each game like Genshin is gonna kill Genshin? Like, why can't we just let these games just be themselves? Why do we have to have every new game try to kill off another game? Like, that makes no sense to me. I want more good games. I don't want a game to kill another game, you know? Like, that sounds so stupid, man. I understand people hating Genshin because it's popular and stuff like that, or maybe they just don't like Genshin because they just don't like Genshin. Like, we're all gamers here, right? We want more good games. We don't want good games to die, you know? Like, it makes no sense. I never really liked that narrative of Genshin killers. I know Tower of Fantasy is supposed to be a Genshin killer, even though I don't think the official company actually even said that. I think it was like some sort of outside third-party person saying that. It just basically caught on, and it just became known as a Genshin killer. I'm like, can't we just let these games be themselves? Tower of Fantasy and this game and Genshin Impact are all good games. Like, the more games like that, the better it is. And not to mention that no game's gonna kill Genshin. There's only 2 things that can kill Genshin: MiHoYo themselves and time. MiHoYo doing something stupid, causing outrage, definitely can't kill the game. Or if they would just want to move on from Genshin and do something else, make a Genshin 2, and that can be no reason for Genshin shutting down. Not before they sell you a $70 version of Genshin on the PS5 or PC, or it has like everything available, all the 5-star characters available, something like that. I highly doubt Genshin, when the day shuts down, it's gonna be gone forever. I feel like Genshin's gonna be archived somewhere on a disc, and they're gonna sell it back to us, like the full game, at $70. Or by the time Genshin shuts down, it might be like $100. And then it sells like a limited edition version and stuff like that. And the last thing that will possibly kill Genshin is time. Eventually, over time, people will get bored of the game, and also there'll be a lot of really good games coming out in the future as well. And that's gonna cause people to like shift from Genshin to those other games. Nothing can be Father Time, but those are the only 2 ways Genshin can be killed. No other way. No other game will kill Genshin. But anyways, this is first impression. But overall, summarize what I think about this game is that I think this game is absolutely incredible. It's amazing. Obviously, there's some flaws to it. It's not perfect, but it's really good. Out of all the quote-unquote Genshin clones out there, this is probably number 1 for now, until they release other Genshin clones. And you can really tell this game is inspired by Genshin and made to be competing with Genshin. It's kind of funny because when they first announced Wuthering Waves, or like, we didn't really know the name at first, but when they announced them making this game, they said that they weren't making this game to compete with Genshin. But you can tell this game is basically made to compete with Genshin. Like, a lot of things in this game are very similar to Genshin, right down to like the prices and also the fact that the gacha kind of one-ups Genshin. But yeah, like, the gameplay in this game is really good. The combat is fluid, movement even more fluid. the movement in this game is way better than Genshin's. It's a lot more fluid, whereas Genshin feels a little bit more stiff. The combat is definitely a little more fluid than Genshin's. Genshin's combat does feel a little bit stiff at times as well. But when it comes to like the unique stuff, when it comes to the combat in this game, like the echo skills, I like it just as much as Genshin's combining of elements. The aesthetics in this game is really nice. The world looks really nice. The map is also really big as well. Personally, like Genshin's aesthetics a little bit better than Wuthering Waves, but that doesn't mean I don't like Wuthering Waves. Like, I still think it's really good. Just I like Genshin a little bit more because they do take some inspiration when it comes to like real life cultural aspects. Yeah, that's why I like it just a little bit more. And also the world of Genshin feels a little more vibrant, which I kind of like a little bit more, whereas in this game it feels a little more gloomy. But that's probably because of like the story in this game probably be a little more darker and gloomy. And when it comes to the character designs, I like them a lot as well. I like Genshin's character design a little bit more than Wuthering Waves because the same reason why I like the world of Genshin more than I like the world in this game. But that doesn't mean that I don't like the character design in this game. The only complaint I have when it comes to character design in this game is the fact that the characters feel sort of the same, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but even so I do love the design in this game, so I can't wait to see more characters being added into this game. Also, personally, I like the main character design, but I like the traveler design in Genshin Impact, mostly because the main character in this game looks a little bit more like me than the traveler. The funny thing is that the rover in this game looks absolutely nothing like me, so that just kind of speaks volumes of how different the traveler and me look. I like the design of the main character in this game way more than I do than the traveler, and I guess the same thing, I like the design of this character more than I like the Honkai Star Rail main character as well. The only thing I don't really like is like the ponytail. Personally, I don't really rock a ponytail, so yeah, that's the only thing I don't really like. But other than that, that's kind of about it. But also another complaint I have with the gameplay, and not really anything to do with the gameplay, is the fact they only have like 3 characters in the team. I kind of wish they would at least have 4. I'm hoping for like more. Like with Genshin, I kind of want more than 4 characters in the party, but there's so many characters I want to use. I hope that in this game they eventually add more characters in the team and in the party instead of just 3. But yeah, like the cinematics, the pre-rendered cutscenes, they look really good as well. Just as good as Genshin's, and also like the music in this game, the soundtrack is really good too. The UI in this game looks very mobile gamey, but it didn't look too bad, and eventually they're probably gonna change it in the future. But yeah, for now I don't really mind the UI. Personally, it's not really my favorite, but it didn't really affect me too much, so it is whatever. I also forgot to mention that the cutscenes when it comes to using the character's burst is really good as well. But I feel like Genshin is just a little bit better. In terms of the gacha, every aspect of the gacha is significantly better than Genshin Impact, and the prices in this game is the same as Genshin Impact. But even then, like Genshin Impact, prices are horrible. No amount of virtual currency is worth $100. I always think the prices when it comes to mobile games are never worth it. But other than that, that's kind of it for this first impression. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos on Wuthering Waves. I'm not sure if I want to do content in this game. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure I'm going to be playing Wuthering Waves too much. The reason being, it's not because I don't like the game, it's the fact that I only really have time to play one of these type of games. I barely even have time to play Genshin, let alone another game like Genshin. I'm not sure I'll be able to keep up with another game like this. And the reason why I choose Genshin over this is because 1, I do like Genshin just a little bit more, and 2, because well, Genshin I played first. I had more hours and times into that. So basically I'm a victim of Stockholm Syndrome. Not to mention I also spend money on Genshin as well. But even so, I'm definitely at least gonna be logging into this game and collecting the currencies and pulling on banners. Occasionally I might hop on and actually play the game itself, but for the most part I'm not sure if I'll actually play it. But if you guys want to see content in this game, maybe I will just a little bit. I have no idea. But yeah, I really hope this game does well, because I really want more competition when it comes to Genshin. Because the more competition Genshin gets, the better the game will be. And not only that, but I do really like Wuthering Waves. So yeah, I'm really hoping Wuthering Waves makes a big impact in the future. Like, even though it's not the perfect game right now, definitely a lot of flaws and bugs. Overall, this game at its core, it's really good. So I'm really looking forward to the future updates in this game and all the future characters as well. But yeah, anyways, comment on this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And more content on Wuthering Waves, definitely let me know in the comment section below. But also, if you guys are interested in my Genshin Pack videos or other videos as well, like I do Kingdom Hearts content and whatnot, definitely feel free to check them out. Anyways, comment on the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.